Okay, and then the regulation of the body temperature. Okay, so systems that are involved in the regulation of body temperature. Okay, so the excretory system and also the endocrine system. Okay, same, right? Same system. Okay, like the water level. Okay, water content. Alright, and then the first one. Okay, during a hot day, right? So we start from the normal temperature first, 37 degrees Celsius. So let's say on the hot day, right? So our body will, yeah, our body, the temperature of our body will increase, right? So and then when it increase again, right, it will be detected by the brain, okay? And then the corrective mechanism, okay, the blood vessel dilate, okay, so means there will be more, uh, more, blood cell, red blood cell will travel, okay? So then the heat will be lost, okay, to our skin by using the red blood cell. Okay, this one I actually already explained to you before how. Okay, and then the hair lie flat. Okay, means like this skin, so it will be like this. Okay, this is your hair skin. Okay, and then the increase the sweating. Okay, and then the activity of the skeletal muscles. Okay, and certain hormone secretion will reduce. Okay, and eventually the decrease, it will decrease the body temperature, and also the urine produced also will be less. Okay, so this you have to remember the corrective mechanism, right? So first one, it will dilate. Okay, so means the blood vessel dilates. Okay, it usually will be like this, right? So after it dilate, it will become bigger like this. Okay, and then means there will be a lot of red blood cell that can travel, right? If you compare to this one and this one, so this one, okay. So then when it travel, okay, while it travel through our blood vessel, so the heat will be lost, okay, through our skin like this. Okay, so this is why our blood vessel is dilate. Okay, so mean there will be more heat will be released. Okay, so red blood cell is only not is not only used to to transport the oxygen only. Okay, they can transport the heat also. Okay, so there's a many function essentially for the red blood cell. Okay, but normally we know that the red blood cell is used to transport the oxygen. Okay, okay. So this is what happened, right? When our body, okay, the temperature is increased. Okay, so this is the corrective mechanism. Okay, and then the next one, okay, and the next one is when let's say we go to the uh, during a cold day, right? So or you stay in the aircon, right? Very low temperature. So what our body will do? Okay. So the first one, right? Of course, it will be detected by brain. Okay, because our they see our temperatures okay going down, right? It's going is decreased. Okay, so they will be detected by the brain. Okay, and then the brain. So this one is opposite. Okay, opposite. Okay, the corrective mechanism is opposite, right? So before this, the blood vessel is dilate. Okay, now it becomes constrict, means it becomes smaller. Okay, so when they say the normal one is like this, and then it becomes constrict is like this. So means the red blood cell, okay, the red blood cell cannot travel. Okay, so the amount of red blood cell will decrease, right, in the blood vessel. So mean the heat loss also will be decreased. Okay, alright. So this is the blood vessel constrict, and the hairs stand erect. So it's like this. Okay, so this one I already explained before. So when your hair stands like this, right? So the air will fill. Okay, will fill between this hair. Okay, so actually the air is actually very good insulator. Okay, it's a very good insulator, right? So mean it can prevent, right, the heat from our body to be released outside, so we be keep inside our body. Okay, so this is the what is the function when the hair stands. Okay, so this is why, okay, because the air molecule can feel right between the hair here, so means it can become a good conductor. sorry, good insulator, right? And then the next one is a decreased sweating, right? Of course, you know, sweating when it's sweating, right? The heat will be okay. The heat will be transferred, right? Inside the sweat, right? They got the heat contained inside of it. Okay, so if you decrease the sweat, so means the amount of heat lost to the surrounding is lower. Okay. Alright, and then the fourth one is the skeletal muscle we contract and relax actively, and it will cause an individual to shiver to increase the body temperature. So this is we contract and relax, and then this one they reduce the movement, right? This one they reduce this one, that we contract and relax activity, and we cause an individual to shiver to increase the body temperature. Okay, so at the same time, the certain hormone will be secreted to increase the body metabolism. Okay, so they will release the certain hormone so to increase the body metabolism. So body metabolism means the amount of energy that will be burned. Okay, okay, so this is the regulation of the body temperature. Okay, so I explained to you how the body do the regulation of water content and also regulation of body temperature. Okay, so these two process is actually we call it as a homeostasis. Okay, alright. The next question. So, which of the following system involved in water regulation process in human body? So, we already learned the first one is actually excretory, right? Excretory. Okay, and the second one is actually from the endocrine system, right? Endocrine. Okay. So this one is actually the one that form the urine, right? This one is hormone. Okay. So which one? This one of the answer is C. Okay. So the answer is C. And urinary is actually under the excretory system. Okay. Wait. So okay. Alright. So let's move on to the next question. Okay. So the next question is actually asking you, right? Diagram 2 shows an apparatus in the science laboratory. Okay, so what is the function of the apparatus? So this is called as a measuring cylinder. Okay, so measuring cylinder. Okay, so what is the function of the measuring cylinder? Can use to measure the volume of water. Okay. So parallax error occurs when the reader's eye are not perpendicular to the scale reading. Okay. So it should be like in the same level as the water. So this is called a meniscus, right? Okay. So there are two kind of the meniscus. Okay. This one, the first one is like this, and this one, the second one is like this. Okay. So if like this, where's your eyes should be put? It should be here, okay, in this level. So this one is actually meniscus. We call it as a meniscus. Okay, so the eyes must be parallel, okay, to the water level. So if like this mean it should be here like this. Okay, alright. So the answer should be okay. So the answer should be C, right? To measure volume of liquid. Okay, to measure volume of liquid. Okay, for the collect gas, they want we use a gas jar. Okay, we use a gas jar. Okay, so the next one, okay, so this is the classes of food. So classes of food means after this will be answer, right? Right, we answer the question about the nutrition, right? Nutrition. This one is chapter form 1, I think. Okay, so I read the question first. So diagram 3 shows an organ in human body. So state the function of X. So we have to know the part of the human body that involved in our digestion system, right? So you have to know the part and also the function. Okay. Okay, so let's see the first one. Okay, we learn. Okay. Alright, first one you have to know the classes of food. Okay, so they divide into the 7 main classes, right? Carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamins, okay, minerals, fiber, and water. Okay, so this type of food, each classes, okay, they got a specific function. Okay, so you have to remember, right, the function of each of the classes of food and also the example, right, and also yeah, okay. All right, the next one is the carbohydrate. So what is the carbohydrate? So carbohydrate is an organic compound that contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Okay, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Okay, so the carbohydrate is a staple for humans because it supplies a lot of energy. So carbohydrate, the function is to supply a lot of energy. Okay, so it supplies the energy. So example of the carbohydrate are starch, okay, glycogen, and also cellulose. Okay, and the starch is the food stored in the plants, okay, whereas glycogen is the food stored in the animals. Okay, so you know that when the plants make food, right? Okay, so I know they will produce glucose, okay, but in order to store the food, right, in the plants, okay, they will change the glucose to the starch. Okay, they will change the glucose to the starch. So let's say if they want to use it, okay, they want to use it, they will change it back to glucose. Okay, then they convert it to energy. Alright, like that. Okay, so you have to remember, so the plants, okay, keep the food, okay, as a starch, okay, inside the plants, okay, but when they want to use it, they will convert it back to the glucose and convert it to energy. Okay, so and then the glycogen is actually the food stored in animals. So actually for difference between plants and animals. So they use different kind of storage food. Okay, so this one you have to remember. Okay, and the cellulose is the carbohydrate that form the cell walls of plants. Okay, so cellulose is actually formed by the cell walls of the plants. Okay, so this is the 3 types, right? So this is the carbohydrate. Okay, so the function is actually to supply a lot of energy. So this is the example of food, right? Banana, rice, bread, potato, honey, right? Sugar, okay? So this is the source of carbohydrate. Okay. Alright, we go to the next one. Okay, so the next one is a protein. Okay, so the protein is actually a food substance that contains carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. Okay, so it's different from the carbohydrate. Carbohydrate only contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, but protein, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and add another one is nitrogen. Okay, so protein we eat are digested to the basic unit. Okay, that is amino acid. Okay, so amino acid. So this one was the function of protein. So protein is for the growth or repair damaged tissue. Okay, and as well to replace a dead cells. Okay, so a part of that, the protein is also used to synthesize enzyme, hormone, and antibodies. So this is the example of the proteins. Okay, so actually there's got many function of proteins. Okay, so the first one, I just highlight, okay, for the growth, okay, and then to repair the damaged tissue and also to form a new cell also, okay, and also to replace the dead cells. Okay, other than that, they used to produce the enzyme, hormones, and antibodies. Okay, so there's a many function of protein. Carbohydrate is basically they used to supply the energy, but for protein, okay, they got a lot of function. Okay, so this one you have to remember. Okay, and this is example of food that got protein. Okay, chicken, nuts, seafood, egg, meat, and also uh, seafood means fish, right? They got a lot of protein. Okay, and the next one, okay, the next one is fat, right? So fat, contains carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. This one is same like protein. Sorry, same like the carbohydrate, right? So the carbohydrate also contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Okay, fat is formed from glycerol and also fatty acid. Okay, so fat is a high energy source and storage. Okay, so their function fat is same like the carbohydrate. Okay, they used to produce the energy. But for the fat, right, there is a high energy source. Okay, for and storage. Okay, so each gram of fat supplies 2 times the total energy supplied by carbohydrate. Okay, so means the fat can supply 2 times more. Okay, the 2 times more than energy that supplies by the carbohydrate. Okay, so fat protects the organ, okay, of the body such as heart and kidney. Okay, apart from that, fat acts as a transporter for vitamin A, D, E, and K. Okay, but excess fat in the body is stored under the skin as a heat insulator to regulate body temperature. Okay, so this is the function of fat. Okay, so it's a high energy sources and also storage. Okay, and then they can protect the organ, okay, such as heart and kidney. Okay, so other than that, they can also use as transporter of A, D, and K for vitamin. And also the last one, that if they got the excess, okay, of fat, they will put it under the skin. Okay, this one is as a heat insulator. Okay, so this one to regulate the body temperature. Okay, let's say we feel cold, right? So this is the function of the fat. Okay, stored under our skin. Okay, so this is the example of the food, right? Butter, coconut oil, palm oil, groundnuts. Okay, so this is the example of fat. Okay, all right. So next one, vitamin. Okay, so the vitamin is an organic compound, okay, that does not supply energy, but is needed by the body in a small quantity to maintain good health. Okay, so the vitamin can be classified as water-soluble vitamin and fat-soluble vitamin. So we obtain from vegetables, fruit mix, and meat. Okay, so this is the two type of vitamins, so water soluble and fat soluble. So water soluble mean vitamin B and C. Okay, and fat soluble vitamins is vitamin A, D, E, and K. Right, so that's why. Okay, so that's why. So for the fat soluble vitamins, so the fat here will be a transporter for vitamin A, D, and K, because A, D, and K is a fat soluble vitamin. So they need a fat to be transported. Okay, so this one water soluble means they can travel by just using water. Okay, they can travel to our body just by using water. Okay, so you have to differentiate. Okay, all right. The next one is actually okay, the vitamin source, okay, for A, B, C, D, E, K, alright, and the importance and what happens if it's not enough in our body. Okay, so let's say for vitamin A, it's the milk, egg yolk, and also fish oil. Okay, so what is the function here, the importance here? Okay, this one to help a night vision, okay, and also to maintain the skin health. So let's say if not enough of vitamin A, okay, so there will be night blindness and also skin disease. Okay, so this is, they say you have a problem with your skin. Okay, maybe you can eat more vitamin A. Okay, so you drink more milk, right? Okay, and then the vitamin B is yeast, liver, and eggs. Okay, so what is the function of the vitamin B? Okay, that one is to maintain the function of the nervous system. Okay, and formation of red blood cell. Okay, so this one is very important one. Okay, so the formation of red blood cell and also to maintain the function of nervous system. So let's say the effect of deficiency is very also anemia. Okay, anemia is actually the disease, okay, when you have less of not enough of red blood cells. So this is called as anemia. So the symptom is you easily feel tired. Okay. So that is the function of anemia. Okay. Sorry, the symptom of anemia, not the function of anemia. The symptom of anemia is you easily feel tired. Okay, so means you have to take more vitamin D. Okay, for C, okay, so this one is a fruit and vegetables. Okay, so this one is to fight the disease, okay, and maintain the health of gums and mouth. And also, if you're not enough of vitamin C, it will be a scurvy. Okay, this one is a bleeding gums. Okay, and some of now I know already know about the coronavirus, right? Okay, so some said that if you take more vitamin C, right, it will help you to prevent you from getting the coronavirus, right? Okay, so this one is because the symptoms of coronavirus is like flu, something like that. So maybe you can take more vitamin C. Okay, I'm not sure, but why not try it, right? Okay, and then the next one is a vitamin D, right? So butter, eggs, fish oil, right? Also produced through sun exposure. Okay, but this one is not like at 2 p.m. right? You stay under the sun. That one is not vitamin D. Okay, so usually the good time, okay, if you want to get for vitamin D under the sun, it's actually like 9 to 10. That one is the best. Okay, that one is the best. Okay, so this is the sauce, butter, egg, fish oil also produced through the sun exposure. So this one is to have the absorption of calcium. Okay, strengthens the tooth animals and also maintains skin health. Okay, let's say you have not enough of vitamin D, right? So we get the rickets, okay, toothache and also skin disease. Okay, so this is the vitamin D. Right, and it goes to the vitamin E, right? So the source is the grains, okay, green vegetables. Okay, so what is the function of it to maintain the function of reproductive system? Okay, so effect, okay, what happen if you not enough vitamin E, okay, so will be sterility and also fetus miscarriage. Okay, so they say if woman got pregnant, so they need to take vitamin E. Okay, so this one is actually to maintain the function of reproductive system, right? And then the last one is a vitamin K, right? It's from the meat, egg yolk, and fish oil. Okay, so speed up in the blood clotting process. Okay, and prolong. If you not enough vitamin K, it will prolong the bleeding. Okay. Hmm. But sometimes if you have a diabetes also, right? If you got a, let's say you got injured or something, okay, for the diabetes person, it will take a longer time to heal. Okay. Hmm. So this is the vitamin A, B, C, D, E, K. Okay, what is the function? What is the effect of deficiency? Okay, so this one is actually when the question come out. Okay, then we ask you, then we give you, let's say, blindness. So what did you need to take, okay, to cover the effect of deficiency? So you have to know effect of deficiency, night blindness. So means you have to take a vitamin A, right? So means this person lack of vitamin A. So what they need to take, right? So they can cover it back. So this is the sauce that you need to take. Maybe you can drink milk, egg yolk, and fish oil. Okay. So this is the example. Okay, so next one we goes to the fiber, right? So fiber is substance that cannot be broken down by the digestive system. So fiber comprises of cellulose. Right? Cellulose is actually is the made from the plant cell wall, right? So fiber is very important to stimulate peristalsis. Okay, what is a peristalsis? The movement caused by the constriction and relaxation of the muscle along the digestive tract such as esophagus, small intestine and large intestine. Okay, let's say when you eat, right? When you eat, So let's say this is your esophagus. Okay. So when the food travel, okay, so how does the food go down? Okay. So the food go down by the process of peristalsis. Okay. So let's say the food is here, right? So this one they will constrict, right? So when it constrict, it means it will push down the food go here. And then after the food goes here, it will constrict again. Okay, it will constrict again. It will push, right? So it will push and then the food goes down again. Okay, so until it reach the stomach. Okay, and then during the at the small intestine and large intestine. Okay, so how does the food travel? So they use the same method by using the peristalsis. Okay, so for this part, the muscle here, the muscle wall here will constrict. So it will push, it will squeeze, right? It will squeeze the food to go down, and then from here, yeah, when the food arrive here, it will squeeze again, and then the food goes down, okay, until it comes to the stomach. So that is called as a peristalsis. So the peristalsis is actually from the fiber, okay, and then this make it easier for food to move along the digestive tract and prevent the constipation. So you have a difficulty to uh, okay, difficulty to how I said this. I never mind. Okay, okay. Let's say I have the difficulty to um, untuk buang apa untuk buang najis. Okay, so that one you have to read the fiber, right? Vegetables, grains like this. Okay, all right. So one more minute before I stop. Okay. Right, and then the last one I think is minerals. No, we got one more. Okay, so minerals. So minerals, so this is the function of minerals. Okay, calcium, sodium, iron, iodine, phosphorus, potassium. Okay. So this one, this does not supply energy, same like vitamins, so they're not the supply energy, okay, but they are required in small quantity to regulate the body process and maintain the health, okay. So the calcium, right, is actually okay if you don't have enough of calcium. Okay, so we got the recap, the osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is actually for your if your for your bone, right? Okay, the problem with your bones. Okay, and then sodium. Okay, so the function is effect of deficiency is a muscle cramps. Okay, and then iron. Okay, this one is anemia. Okay, less of not enough of red blood cell. Okay, iodine is a goiter. Okay, and phosphorus. Okay, if you're not enough of phosphorus inside your body, will be rickets, brittle teeth, and also cannot build DNA and RNA. Okay, and the last one is a potassium. Okay, so this one is for paralysis and muscle cramp. If not enough, okay, of potassium, so this is what will happen: paralysis and muscle cramps. Okay. So I will continue, alright, I think on Tuesday, right, for the next slide, okay. So thank you, class. See you. And don't forget to do the exercise that I give, right? I will give inside the GC.